Good afternoon, I'm Frank Vitella. We are going to share some family recipes and more. We're going to do some different things. This will be our first episode, so don't hold it against us. Today we're just going to make meatballs, simply just the way my grandmother made them. It was the only way I knew how to make them. That's what we did over the years. People make them different, put all kinds of different things in them. Ours were simple. And I'm going to share them with you today. We're going to make the meatballs, we're going to fry the meatballs, and we're going to go from there. And eventually these meatballs will end up in our Sunday gravy or sauce, whatever you like to say, and that'll be another episode. We have fresh ground beef, about 1.5 pounds is there. This is almost a cup of Pecorino Romano cheese, which I purchased at Bufferios. I have chopped garlic, chopped parsley, fresh of course. I have hard stale bread, and I have 1 egg. Now we use hard bread because we didn't use breadcrumb. My grandmother made it with hard bread. So we used to get whatever bread we had left over, would go into a paper bag so it would stay hard, never plastic. And the harder it got, the better it got. Chopped garlic. There's about 1 big clove in here. That's what this is in here. Grated cheese, which it seems like a lot of grated cheese, but that's what we did. The fresh parsley goes in. Then you add the stale bread, which you would just break up best you could. You could put it in a blender. You could do anything you want like that. This is the way we did it, is just kind of break it up. I'm gonna add a very little bit of water in it, in this mixture when I'm done for that, because I think when you wet it first, it kind of makes it mushy and makes the bread kind of like, gets doughy. So we don't want that. I'm gonna use maybe 3 or 4 of these pieces of bread, just like you would breadcrumb. If you like breadcrumb, and if that's better for you and easier for you, you do breadcrumb. You can, like I said, you break these up as best you could. Sometimes you'll even see that there's a lump or 2 of this in your meatball, the bread, which was fine. That's the way we ate it. People say, oh, what's that white thing in there? Well, that's the piece of the bread. We used to use Italian bread. We used whatever we could. If we used like a stick bread or a spalette or something like that, we would trim some of the sides off of it. Okay, so we got everything in here. I'm gonna put an egg. Actually, I'm gonna put 2 eggs. I'm gonna start to mix it, and if I feel that it's not wet enough, I might add a little water just because of the breadcrumb in here. I'm gonna use my hand, it's clean. Some people put a glove on. This is the way we did it, so I wanna keep it the same way. Mix everything together. In my house, we didn't use veal, pork, and beef. It was always beef meatballs, that's what we ate. As much as I love pork, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite meats, but I just don't like it with the meatballs, and we just never did it that way. This has to be mixed good, but then I'm gonna show you when you roll them, you don't wanna roll them super tight because that makes the meatball a little harder. You have to add salt and pepper. And you gotta add a decent amount of sauce. I'm using cracked pepper, you can use whatever you like. Mix it up real good again. People put onions in their meatballs, some people put all different kinds of things. We never did anything like that. Although my grandfather used to put raisins and pinoli nuts in his meatballs, which was different, but it's actually good. I made them one time years ago just to try them, and I kind of liked it. So that's just the way he did them. We're gonna take this over to the stove, and we're gonna start frying the meatballs. When you roll the meatballs, you wanna roll them, but you don't wanna make them tight. You want to roll them so they're nice and firm and they won't fall apart on you. These are about 2 ounce meatballs, maybe something like that, 2 1/4 ounce meatballs. You make them any size you like. This is about 1.5 pounds of meat. So we're gonna get about 5, 6, and 13 meatballs. You could fry whatever kind of oil you like or whatever works for you. In my house, we actually fried with vegetable oil for meatballs. This is olive oil, and I put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in it just for a little bit more flavor. You know, they say the olive oil burns. It's not there that long that it's burning. So we're just gonna turn the meatballs, see how they're getting the beautiful golden brown. We're gonna cook the rest of them and then we'll show you the end product. So this is what the meatballs should look like on a finished product. I just put some paper towels down here to absorb some of the grease. When we're done with this, we're gonna save some of that oil. And then I'm gonna fry other meat in another episode. And then we're gonna do the Sunday gravy or sauce. And we're gonna use some of that oil as our starter oil for our sauce. Okay, these are our finished meatballs. Now these can be frozen because none of the meat was frozen before, so you could do that until we make our gravy. This is what you have. You can eat them just like this, as me and my director and daughter-in-law have been doing as we're cooking them. Good food, good memories. See you soon.